when you thought it was safe. Curriculum changed, PCP has gone and got a court case. It's proof for the deniers, revealing all the liars. UNESCO co-conspirers, stealing away your rights as a parent, a guardian. Remove your right to disagree. Chosen from the age of 3, exposing kids to CSE. Change the name to RSE, it's mirrored inequality. Legally made it mandatory, dictated by the GOV.
Let's start up then a little bit. So, hi everyone, how are you doing? For those who do not know, I am Kimberly Isherwood, and I am one of the directors of Public Child Protection Wales, and I think we're probably best known for our fight against RSE. And tonight we've got our lead researcher, Catherine Watkins, and we're going to be discussing our trip to Washington D.C. because we should be landing in about 1 hour and 45 minutes. But that hasn't gone to plan simply because KLM did cancel our flights and rescheduled us for 24 hours later. So Catherine is going to be leaving tomorrow morning at 10 to 10. And as some of you may or may not be aware, we do have a little tiny bit of disappointing news that I won't be able to make the trip this time. And I know there's been a lot of concern about me, but everything is fine. Everything is absolutely fine. This is just us strategizing. What do you say, Kath?
Yeah, I mean, look, nobody is more gutted than I am about you not coming, obviously, you know, but yeah, we have had to work around it and decide which one of us is best to go under the circumstances and for what things. And obviously, if you were able to go, we'd both be going. But unfortunately you can't. So I will jump in your shoes, so to speak, and I will do my utmost and the best I possibly can for the children in Wales. So I am actually quite looking forward to it as well. But I will miss you. I'm not going to lie.
Well, this is it, you know, and it doesn't matter where we go, what we do. Somebody's not there, they are missed. You know, there's no two ways around that because we are such a strong, we're a tight-knit team. You know, we don't just work together, we look after each other. And more importantly, we don't have a boss as such. We see best interests of the children and service to the children as our guide. And I think we've just come to a position here where, and it's actually a really good position. It's a really exciting position, you know. We are absolutely inundated with work. Now, when we started this 5 years ago, we would have ideally wanted to smash it in a couple of months, bring Cardiff to a standstill, and this never, ever come into play. But it hasn't gone that way. You know, we're at the stage now where we have to look at everything that's in front of us, things that's going on in our private lives as well, and we have to make decisions. And the decision we always make is best man for the job. And in this case, this is best man for the job. I am nowhere near as well versed as Catherine on the sexual revolution, Kinsey's work, Dr. Reisman's work. And for us, guys, as you know, we began on a preventative campaign. You know, we wanted to prevent this from happening. Then we went into a stage of damage limitation. And unfortunately, we are past damage limitation going into seeing serious harm, all right? And now we have to seriously consider what we can do to reverse this harm. We do have children addicted to things they shouldn't be addicted to. You know, we do have stuff imprinted on our children's brains that shouldn't be there. And for us now, we have to do everything in our power to make sure that we can provide the tools to undo this damage. And so for us, it's not just joining the coalition, addressing the World Health Organization, the United Nations. There are people out in America that can help us help our children. And, you know, I would have to spend hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours to be able to have a conversation at the level Catherine can have, you know, and also we got so much work going on here now in September. We have to look at best men for the job. And that's where we've come to where we are now. We are going to be meeting some very influential ladies out there as well. And a lot of Kathleen's work is based off a lady called Judith Reisman. So, Kath, do you want to explain to people a little bit about that? Because this is your work. This is what you do mostly behind the scenes. And after you explain your work, I want to explain to people why they don't see you so much.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, a lot of people already follow me anyway, so they'll know that a lot of my work is around a man called Alfred Kinsey. We know this, but most of my work comes from Judith Reisman, and she, God rest her soul, she died in April 2021, and she discovered Kinsey's frauds back in the late 70s, early 80s. She discovered what was going on there, and she went hell for leather in trying to expose him and expose his fraudulent research, the raw data of, basically the sexual abuse of infants as young as 2 months old. For 4 decades, she battled him. And when I say she battled him, he had died in 1956. What I mean is she battled against his work, which is just littered all the way through academia. Even today, every person who goes into any of those classrooms teaching sex education, whether they realize it or not, are Kinseyan trained. And what I mean by that is they are teaching the works of Alfred Kinsey. So she was really crucial, actually. And if it weren't for her, I wouldn't know what I know now. And there's other people in the States who wouldn't be doing the things they're doing now. But she was asked, they probably regretted it at some stage, but she was asked by the Department of Justice in the 1980s to do a report on juvenile delinquency and the effect that illicit material had on teenagers and the effect to the family, women and children. So she took that role very seriously, and she had a whole team, and it took her a few years to do this report. And basically she went through, at that time, all you would have had available at that time were magazines. So many people are familiar with Playboy. Playboy started in 1953. Ironically, Hugh Hefner was Alfred Kinsey's pamphleteer. Then you had Hustler and you had Penthouse. So she and her team went through all of those magazines and pulled out the child pornography within them. Halfway through her report, they did pull her funding, but she did it anyway. She managed to do it. Now, her work was so tight. The porn industry, powerful, very, very, very much more powerful than what people realize. They attacked her. Hugh Hefner himself attacked her, and the big pornography attacked her. For 2 years, they spent between $50,000 and $75,000 per month, every month for 2 years, to try and demonize Judith Reisman, to try and damage her work. She even went up against them. She was pulled up to Congress 3 times, and her work was so tight that they just couldn't do it. They couldn't have her, and she pretty much did it single-handedly. Don't get me wrong, she had her team and whatever, but basically nobody knows that in the 1990s, Hugh Hefner tried to sue her because she went on a chat show. I can't remember the country it was, but anyway, it might have been Denmark or Germany. She went on a chat, but you don't hear anything about him losing because obviously she was exonerated, and we don't want, they sort of hushed that up. So this is the powerful woman, and I do feel like I know her. I've read every book she's got, other than one I think I haven't read, and the information that woman had on the industry itself, the sexual liberation movement, how it sabotaged the whole world. And it really did sabotage the whole world. This is no small feat. This is massive. This is why we've got this education here. So when we're going over to Washington, although I can't meet the wonderful Judith Reisman, there will be 2 people that she did work with, who worked with her in her institute when she was alive. So I'm looking forward to meeting everybody there. I am, but I'm particularly looking forward to meeting those people of the institute, because there's one thing in particular which is really important as well. And I've done videos on this on the past, but it's either 95 or 97. I believe it was 95. There was a bill that started in America, right? So we're talking 30 years ago. 30 years ago, and this was Dr. Reisman's work as well. So basically, she worked so hard for them to start doing investigation into Kinsey's work, Kinsey's research, and to pull all of his work out of universities, colleges, schools, basically out of the education system. The bill is HR 2749, and it went through the first stage, and then nothing happened after that. So what they're trying to do now, and hopefully we can have a part in this as well, is revive this bill that was started 30 years ago. So Judith Reisman started it. Hopefully we can finish it, because like I say, this is the sex education, which is what, you know, we do other things. Obviously, we do lots of other things, but a lot of education in school. And to pinpoint it really is Alfred Kinsey. I think is paramount that and I know that it does trigger people when I write my Kinsey post, right? And I don't like doing it, mind. I really don't, because I'm aware that it can re-trigger and re-traumatize victims. I really don't like doing it. But at the same time, I need you to understand what your children are up against, where the raw data is.
It is, guys. I'm really sorry if it's a bit glitchy. We are trying out. We did know this was going to happen, and we are trying our best to work with each other, not to talk over each other as well. So yeah, so Catherine is the best person for this job, and like I just want to explain something as well. Like I've had some phone calls this afternoon of people who haven't met Catherine, concerned about me, but this is one massive game plan. Catherine is she used to be a very controversial figure, and she's such a selfless woman that she spent this entire 5 years in the middle of this fight, but never ever getting any limelight whatsoever. She's never been on the website. For the first 2.5 years, she would not go on that microphone and speak on behalf of Public Child Protection Wales, regardless of this knowledge and this information she's got. She fed it through the group. And the reason why she stayed back is because she didn't want to bring the cause down, because she's so controversial. She was quite a fiery character as well. And I'm a little bit fiery, but Catherine was like on it, you know? And we needed that. We needed to be able to rein me in so we could do the mainstream stuff. And we give Catherine free rein, you know? But Catherine has always been central to this. And it's always been a game plan. But recently, Catherine has now gone on the website. She's featured on the website. She's just done her accreditation in RSE teacher training. And she's ready to bring her knowledge forward. And as you guys know, we've already created one training package, and there's a section in there that is being produced by Catherine. But Catherine's work is so much more than a section. Catherine's work needs an entire branch of its own. So this is just part of the stages. It's part of the game plan. There is no problem whatsoever with anyone here. This is her time, you know. It's her time now to come out from behind the curtain and really go for it. It's time for her to become our Judith Reisman. And there's nobody better for this job. Nobody better at all. The only thing, if anything, my being there might have prevented more intelligent conversations taking place, because I am not going to be able to converse at the level Catherine can anyway. And sometimes you can get in the way, you know. So this is absolutely the right moment, the right thing. We've worked together all the way from day one, you know, and there has been personal sacrifices made. And like I said, Catherine is so selfless that she has purposely not wanted to put herself on the platform then of Public Child Protection Wales until about 2.5 years ago, Catherine. And that's when you did start speaking. And that was obviously to discuss the porn. and a lot of what you've learned from the Reisman Institute and Judith's work. But sometimes, guys, we don't have a plan, right? We don't have a long-term plan, but we do have like little game plans and strategies throughout. And this is just another part of that. This is just another part of us ensuring we can provide a really good widespread service to the children. Like we've waited 5 years to have this many parents interested. We've waited 5 years for this many parents to be actively fighting. And even though it's not en masse and we're not shutting down cities, every single parent and every single fight matters. And when we look at our workload, we look at our skill set, we look at the situation, this is the best way to move forward. We cover in far more ground. And like I said, there is nobody better suited for this role than Catherine, because you will find sometimes in situations you can get in the way, but it excites me. It excites me. The right person is going to be in the right place, and the service she's going to do for the whole of the UK is going to be incredible. Like I said, we are now in a situation where 3 of us are fully accredited RSE teacher trainers, and we are going to step into their playground, turn it into our playground by producing RSSE resources, relationship and safe sexual education resources, as well as find tools to reverse the damage already imprinted on our children's brains. And I don't know if you've got anything to add to that, Kath, but I just want everyone to know that, you know what I mean? You've always been central to this, and you've always given so much, but you purposely kept yourself out of the way for the good of the children. And this says, look, there's comments there now. I remember the first performance on the steps of Civic Centre in Newport. Kat is well able. Kath is more than able, Mike, more than able. But I think what it is a lot, there's just been a bit of concern. I think people are concerned for my welfare, for a start. And because Kath has newfound faith in Jesus Christ, she's gone a little bit more placid than what she used to be. But we all need to remember Jesus flipped tables at some point too, So don't let her newfound faith be a deterrent. She is not to be messed with. Her passion for the children is raw. She's not there to pussyfoot. She's there to get what she can. And what we will produce off the back of this trip is going to be invaluable. What do you think, Kath? Oh, I don't know if are you still there, love? I'm really sorry, guys. This network is horrific.
International, because at the end of the day, this is worldwide. It took us a long time to actually prove this, mind you. Back in the days when we were shouting about where this was coming from, that it was coming from the UN and the World Health Organization, and people were just so blasé about it, and they couldn't quite grasp how big this really was. I think we've moved on a lot from that. People really do, like we say, there's not millions of people, sort of getting involved, but people are, and we know that from the work we've got in the background, from people. Actually, they realize what's going on now, and they can be quite daunting. The schools will have you believe you're kind of the only parent or whatever who's coming forward and doing anything, to try and make you the problem, as opposed. So it is quite difficult for some people to go up against it. But what, there are some parents out there who really are going tooth and nail despite that. And if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to move this forward. I haven't even got a child in school. Kim's boys were home educated as well for the last few years, you know, and face this with the schools. So unless it was for the parents outside who were sort of, you know, grabbing the bull by the horn, so to speak, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we are really, you know, grateful and really supportive of the kind of although it's worldwide, I think people going in there, and this is an opportunity for the World Health Organization, not that they're going to, you know, sort of acknowledge us in any way, shape, or form, but to show them organization are going to go, oh, look at them out there, right, we better stop it now, and we know that's not going to happen, but we are going to show a united front and give our, you know, our declaration of childhood to them. And we just continue to do the work on the ground. We continue to do that work on the ground, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the way we're going to break through this anyway. You know, appealing to authority doesn't work, we know that. So the boots on the ground, but more boots on the ground, I think is a brilliant way to move forward. So I'm really looking forward to this opportunity.
A terrible lag on this, but yeah, I think this is the right time now to move forward. Like you said, we can't do it without the parents. The parents are the ones now that are dealing with the schools, and they also need support from us as well, you know. So there's a lot going on. We are inundated, we are short staffed, but you guys know that we are making decisions and we are making moves to try and cover as much ground as possible, and, you know, try and break, as well as breakthrough. We got damage to undo now, we got other resources to reduce. There's a lot of work going on, you know. We get quite a lot of opportunities now, opportunities that cannot be missed. But yeah, that's just pretty much all I got to say on the topic. I'm really excited. This is an exciting time, okay? Even if you do see me have the odd rant or the odd moan, listen, we're grateful for the work. We are grateful for the workload. We are grateful. We know that people are out there fighting for the children, and just one parent manages to safeguard an entire year group. So it is always worth putting time into that one parent. But if one parent can safeguard an entire year group, 5 parents can safeguard an entire school, and 50 parents can safeguard an entire local authority. It really is that simple, guys. And I don't want to hold anybody up too much now, Kath. I'm going to see you in the morning. I'm going to be doing the handover. You're going to be taking the gear. So it's going from one technophobe to another technophobe. And I will be waving you off on that plane. Catherine's going to try and get as much footage as possible. This is not a promise, but we are going to try our best to get footage to produce a documentary, okay? We have a film crew who have agreed we can employ them to produce it. So being there is the job done. Anything else is a bonus. We are working with the international group to get as much footage sent over as possible. And I hope that maybe we might be able to produce a good documentary for you. Catherine will be on, most likely be on UK Column at some point. She will be speaking to Brian Garish. She will also be speaking to Liz Phillips then on return. But the most important of all, she's going to be speaking to you guys. And this could not have been possible without any of you supporting us, taking part in our sponsored events, your garden parties. We've had a 7-year-old raise over £700 skating. None of this can be possible without you. So that's your shares on Facebook. That's your fights, your individual fights, your donations, your taking part. This is impossible. Not one person could ever manage this on their own, you know. This is a joint venture, guys. It'll be as good, as successful as we want it to be. We are there ready and waiting. You know, the sky's the limit on this, guys. And we're going to give it everything we got. Catherine never fails to give it everything she's got. And yeah, I'm just going to end on that note now. I'm going to thank everyone so much for their support, and I'm going to wish Kath, and don't forget Paul Diamond as well. Paul Diamond is out there waiting the other side because of these discussions with legislators. Catherine's husband Darren as well. We've also got Too Much Too Young. We have done everything in our power to make sure this trip has gone ahead. We've done everything in our power to ensure the children of the UK is represented, and it wasn't just, you know, centred to Wales, because we get support from all around the UK. We do have everyone's children in our hearts every step of the way, guys. We only have one pair of hands. We have a tiny team, but I have total faith in this team, the people behind it, the individuals. Kath is absolute dynamite, and she is definitely going to smash it out in Washington, D.C. Kath, I leave it to you now, love. Whatever you've got to say, you close us down.
I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody, just sort of reiterating what you said there, Kim, because without them, we couldn't be doing it. We wouldn't be going anywhere, you know. So a massive, massive thank you to all of our supporters. And our support seems to be growing by the day, which is fantastic, because at the end of the day, guys, this is about our pit. So thank you so much for everybody who don't need to go. I will do my absolute best. I will smash it. I will take as much. I was a bit concerned about the techie much footage, and I'll get a lot of interviews in as well with the other organizations that are going out there, and people, if there's anyone around, you know, listening or whatever, when we go to outside the WHO. So I will bring as much as I can back from this trip, guys. And thank you so much. Love you all. And I'll see you when I get back.
And I just want to say as well, I don't know what you guys are watching on, but if you get over to YouTube and you look out for our live videos, you click on the live videos once this goes out now, look into the comments, you will see Penny Marie NZ. So Penny is out in New Zealand already. Click on Penny's comment. So she's from New Zealand. She's out in Washington already. Click on Penny there, guys. You give her a follow. She produces some fantastic work, okay? So Catherine will have all of these wonderful ladies the other side for you to meet individually and as groups. I want to wish you all a very safe journey. I hope you all have time to have some lovely downtime as well. Yeah, I wish you all well, and I have absolutely no doubt in my mind this is just another step into something great. And again, I'll end by saying, guys, thank you all so much. None of this would be possible without you, you know. This wouldn't be this big without you guys. Because as you know, it started off with just 5 of us on the Senate steps. And look at us now. Look at us now, we are fighting at all levels, local, national, and international. There's no job too big, no job too small. This is all for the children, guys, and nothing else matters. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for what you've done. And just join me in wishing everyone a safe trip. And Kath, Get out there and nail it, girl.
I will.
Everyone.